Hey, I'm Becca Thompson. I teach fourth grade in Hall County, and I just wanted to show you what I tried with the ChatGPT tool that Brian posted about this week. It looked really interesting, and I just wanted to try it out. I'm kind of like a jumper. I like to try new things when they're on the ground level, and I can tell that this is not going to be free for very long. So, teacher friends, if you want to try it, I would try it now. In my opinion, my 5 seconds of trying it, it feels a lot like you're having a conversation with Google. And so we can Google everything, but this seems to be more conversational. My students create podcasts and it's really, really awesome, but I'm looking to create a feedback form for them. So I just thought, well, I'll just try and see what this AI tool can tell me about making a feedback form for the podcast. So I just typed in, I need to create a feedback form for my podcast. And it just like blurts out this whole form of here's some things you can do, determine the purpose of your feedback, all of these ideas. And I thought, okay, well, that was a nice start. That was kind of generalized. I need to make my question or my sentence more specific, which then led me to think this would be cool to use with students to help them make specific questions about something. We're headed into our nonfiction unit. So I wouldn't use this live with students. I don't trust it. I don't know it that much. But if you had pre-made examples where you could show them where a specific question worked better than a general one. So I kind of went more specific and I typed, what questions should I ask? So it already remembers what we were talking about. If you just typed that into Google, that wouldn't make sense. But with this conversation, okay, the computer understands what we're talking about and gives me some questions about what to put on a podcast feedback form, which was more for the listeners to give specific feedback. So then I thought, okay, let me go even further. I typed, my students are making podcasts. How can I assess them? And then it gives me all these I needed some buzzwords to put in my feedback form that would make sense with podcasting. And this gave me a really great start. I even went more specific. What kind of criteria or guidelines can I give students making podcasts? So it gave me even more, guidelines. And I thought it was awesome. Just a really great random try at the app. I wanted to show you one of the main things that we're talking about with the podcast is having natural conversations. So I had typed out, how can I help students have natural conversations in a podcast? I didn't know what was going to come up. So this is kind of how it works. It looks like a little chat, kind of like if you've ever chatted with some customer service person or something. So this just gave me some awesome ways to help them with their natural conversation. And I immediately picked up on the active listening part that they talk about. So I even went more specific and I said, how can I model active listening for my students? And then it goes on to talk about how you can model active listening. Again, I don't know much about it, but it's blowing up on Twitter with all the educational gurus, and they're saying if you don't, like, how is this going to affect the classroom? How is this going to affect students? So I just wanted to check it out and see what it was about. So I'm looking forward. If any of you come up with something awesome, a way to use it, I'd love to know. Thanks.